talking with head track and field coach Michael Dunn to preview this weekend's UMAC Championships. Coach, how have you seen your team grow this season?
Well, I think this year has been a lot about learning and being able to elevate each other and the teammates around them. With the young group we have, with those that didn't get to have that full season last year, regardless of the year they are at school here, there's a lot of just, hey, you take it 1 week at a time. Recovery's been a bit bigger this year just because you're having more meets than we did last year for indoor season. So maintenance has been a big deal this year. We had a lot of athletes sitting out for a little bit, and then for different issues, but also because of the fact that recovery is necessary. And I think we saw at the end of last year that individuals on the team would get a little bit worn down, and so tried to be as much responsible in that sense of the game too.
You return all of your conference championship events. Will those same people compete in those disciplines, or will fans see any changes?
I wouldn't say necessarily they're competing in the same events this year. And part of that is last year at indoor, it was a one-day meet for the conference championship, and it was only men at the meet for one day and only women at the meet the next day. So it'll be a little bit different this year for the events that individuals are competing in, but I think the grit and the fire that they have in the events that they're in is definitely going to still be there.
Jake Marzinski and Kayla Tobin have won individual conference championships very early in their careers. What keeps them motivated?
Oh man, I think their teammates do, for sure. The teammates that are new this year, the teammates that want to get better from last year and the year before, I think they feed off of their teammates' energy, and their teammates feed off of their energy that they bring from those championships that they've dropped. I think, again, as they're maybe learning now, how to carry that title, in a way too. They're learning that, okay, I had to work that hard to get it. Now I can't just coast through and do it again. I've got to put in the work, and I want to get better too. So I think there's all of those components that come into play, but there's definitely that ripple effect, and we like to call it a fire that kind of flames a little bit, on the team that we were hoping catches with some of the other athletes too.
Your teams of all the sports here at Bethany, I think, had the biggest path back to normal. How great has that been, having practices as normal and meets, like you said, not being split into single genders? It's
been huge. A big part of track and field is looked at more often than not as an individual sport, and it's very much a team sport. And so by being able to do some things like pre-COVID times this year, and again, we're not all back to that necessarily yet, but to be doing stuff a lot more similarly to what it was pre-COVID, I think allows for those teams to grow and develop together, and not necessarily you're not fighting that upward battle alone, or feeling maybe like you're doing that maybe like it was last year. So that's definitely been a big part of being able to just do more team builds, fun team activities, things like that, just to have the team grow together, and bus trips. We want our family to be a men's and women's track and field team, not just a men's team where I was traveling last year, women's team traveling. So it's fun to be able to see the group grow together. And finally, what are you the most excited about at the championships? I'm excited to get back to a normal-looking track and field championship indoor. So having the 2-day event, you can split some things up. As a coach, you can breathe a little bit more because of it. But I'm also excited just to see what these kids can do. A lot of the time, experience is a big deal when it comes to conference championships, no matter what sport. And we have a young group, so that experience part, we feel like we're gaining that, but we're still, lacking it as far as, seniors. There are teams that have more seniors than us, for sure. So I think it's definitely going to be fun as a coach just to see, what this young group can do for both the men and the women. Thanks for your time. Thank you.